which month was the last time we talked? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't get into time.
Was it like last year? Okay, yeah. I cannot remember anymore. We tried to share.
It's interesting because I was a history teacher for so long, and I never got into just the dates because the important thing was what was happening. And people could memorize dates, but that's just left brain bullshit.
I know what you mean. So it was I remember that we had a very beautiful chat, so I'm very happy that we continue that today, actually. And before starting hitting the live button, you were actually you were telling me the history of the Peace Lab. So let's start from there. At once, that was what came up first, and then I will ask you a little bit further to get to know you a little bit better through your work. Maybe
that's how it goes. It looks like we're live now because I see it live up on the left.
We are. Yes, perfect. We do. I was trying to share on your wall, but I cannot. So maybe.
Oh, I can always put it up, but
something. Yeah. Don't worry. So tell me the story.
Don't worry, be happy. Bobby McFerrin. It's crazy to worry. I mean, exactly. I was on a hijacked airplane. I've taught in the ghettos of Los Angeles. And why worry? God's always carry you one way or another. And if he wants you off the planet, then, we're off the planet. So what? It's another space and time. And we get to adventure more. And if you don't believe in God, he may or may not be, but I'm just enjoying what is. That's the beauty of life.
I love that. Yeah, I remember our lawyer, and I was making a lot of fun with him. He was telling us, you never need to worry. I'm like, okay, explain me that. It's like, if you have a problem and you can solve it, you don't need to worry. If you have a problem and you cannot solve it, you don't need to worry. I'm like, that's a very good point.
Totally.
So, yeah. So tell me, where are you now? Like, I mean,
where am I now?
I lost you.
With regard to the beingness of this human being, or physically and so on, or I mean, we have so much to talk about, and just that particular
all dimensions. All dimensions, physically, metaphysically, creating.
I don't know, sometimes I'm in the fourth or fifth, but that's all the play of consciousness.
Exactly. Whatever needs to be expressed today.
I'm sitting with my feet on Gaia, on Mother Earth. I'm allowing the gentle vibration that she offers us to balance all my cells in my body with her vibration. That's why people feel so good when they lie on the beach all day and they're just chilled out, or when we swim in the ocean, or this being, just being, is so absent from humanity today. We get caught up in stuff. When you look, I took away that if, because when you look at ancient times, and even the so-called primitive people today, they spend maybe 2 hours of their day to provide food, shelter, and clothing. The rest of the time is with their community, is with their family, is having a good time. It's like you happen to be Greek. Oh my God, you guys know how to play. You know how to be happy. You're not here to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. You get to make the fortune of treating life for happiness and to be able to explore life. I mean, the great times of the explorers of the Greeks and so on. But every culture has that kind of magic in some degree or another, when you really get down and dirty, as they say sometimes. And the biggest key to life, I think, is just using it as a play of consciousness. It's like, we don't know what's going to happen next. I didn't know I was going to be on a hijacked airplane. As a matter of fact, a person who's a guru, when he was 15 years old, drove me to the airport to get hijacked. Now he's a big guru. So I got to be escorted to get into this. And what happened on the hijacked airplane? They had automatic weapons, hand grenades, plastic explosives. And I had to do two practices. I couldn't do one practice to meditate. That didn't work because I was trying a mantra. You know, most people know about mantras. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Oh shit, oh. And I couldn't do Om Namah Shivaya. So I did another thing when I could. And it got me into the deepest state of meditation I'd ever been in at that time. So there's a dance of Shiva sometimes, dancing on your head or, you know, dancing on your feet, or you get to dance with the dude, you know? And I like dancing, so that's rock and roll.
Yeah, I feel that a lot. I believe a lot in the phrase that we keep saying, that life doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you need. And what you need sometimes is not what you would like to experience. It's not necessarily the easiest, most fun way, but you can always make the fun out of it. That's I think that's the secret sauce.
Yeah, that's it. But the thing is, if you believe in God, God created us with free will. It's our choice to either suffer or not. When you always look on the bright side of life, you know, here's this dude, Monty Python, he's up on the cross, and he's singing, always look on the bright side of life. Why? As you said about the lawyer, well, if it happens, it's going to happen, it's done, you can still be happy. You don't have to fear, it's already done. If it doesn't happen, if you feared it before he got it, I mean, it's stupid. You're not stupid. So you may as well choose the right thing, which is use whatever is given to us as something to grow with, not from, because the with, everything is with. I'm sitting with like I said, with my feet on Mother Earth. I have a tree right here. That's a zapote tree. It's from Latin America, and it's like a combination of a avocado and a mango. And I love mangoes. I mean, I lived in India a couple of years, and this is mango season actually. And I'm in hog heaven at that time.
Yeah, mangoes are amazing.
So we get to it again, keep exploring. That's why we call the Peace Lab the Peace Lab. It's like a laboratory where we explore this kind of idea or that, where we research, where we experiment. Like when I was in India, I got a disease on my skin called impetigo. And I had read a book called Auto Urine Cure. So here's a book about using the mid-flow of your urine to drink and or put on a poultice and put on your wound. And so I did both. And when you think about drinking your own pee, disgusting. Well, it sounds disgusting, but when you do it, it's just salty water, so to speak. So the idea in your mind is making you crazy instead of you just finding out what it's like. It's like tasting a zapote when you've never had one. You give it a go if you're into exploration of life.
Absolutely.
If you're not, you can have your blinders on. I can buy as much junk as I can because that's going to make me happy. Or I can explore this country or that. I've only been to 30 countries. And I want to go to outer space, but I don't want to spend the money. If I could go to outer space, it'd be beautiful. I'm not going to go there. I got inner space. If I was Bezos, I would use the money to help all his workers live a decent life, have them have health care, have them have what the basic needs that everybody has. And he could do that along with Musk if they want to do it. They could combine forces. Think of how much love that they would feel and generate for the whole planet. But who thinks about that? Our society makes a big deal about, I'm a billionaire. I got 7 yachts and 43 houses. What does it do them? So
I think right there comes like the question that I want to ask you. Why peace, and what is peace actually for you? Because it's one of those words that we can assign almost everything.
My
So
peace,
what is it for you?
peace is harmony with everything. Because my sense is that I'm only just part of nature. I'm like a little healthy cell. Now, I say a healthy cell because I'm not just thinking about me. A healthy cell, when there's a neighboring cell in the human body, will help its neighbor get healthy. The only one that doesn't help is cancer. It only thinks about itself. It only thinks about growing itself. So we have a lot of cancers in the world because our society has been trained that way. We have been trained in a hierarchical way. Like the Peace Lab does productions for Humanity Rising. And we had an incredible lady that has a TED Talk out of SMU. It's called, well, the program that we gave was Shapes That Shape Us. In the primitive times, everything was circular. When you go to India and you're in the village, there's circular mud huts with thatched roofs and cow dung floors. And when you walk into this poor person's place, you're their honored guest. And if they have only a handful of rice for their family, they will fix it for you because it's like God walked in the door. And it's a magical experience. They treat everything as family. I see more kids in the simple villages like Ganeshpuri in India, where I lived for 2 years. They're having more fun than I see in the streets of Los Angeles. And you see on the streets of most major cities, you don't see people smiling and saying hi to each other on the street. Do you know them? No, I don't know. But I can still say hi. And if they say hi back, we might have a conversation. And I might have a friend, or I may not have a friend. But I can't have a friend if I don't say hi. I can't open my heart to be able to share that love. I mean, love is the biggest thing that we never, ever have depleted of when we decide to give love. What do you think about that one?
I totally agree. It's one actually that it seems to multiply the more you give.
Yeah. And that's
Funny.
and who talks about it? Who shares it? Who expresses it so much? And why don't we? It's our society. You don't look at them because they might hurt you. You know, oh, that person's that color. Oh, watch out for them. Oh.
Yeah, we tend to fear that something might happen and we don't understand, but by not doing it, we will get hurt for sure. Because you will feel that everybody is like an enemy and you will feel alone, which will hurt you 100%. It's like...
That's the separation demon. This is the biggest demon in the planet. Now I say it's separation demon. And there's an interesting documentary. It's called Social Dilemma. Social Dilemma was about all these social media and how they try to get you to have clicks. And so they get you to fight against the other side, to disagree, to get their clicks, to have, that's why the news these days, they don't produce news, they produce drama. If they were giving news, they would not put any angst to it. It's like the weather. They make you fear so much heat. Why? We're going to have the heat anyway. It's going to be this temperature. Don't say, oh, it's going to be so hot. Oh, you're going to suffer this, or watch out for that. It's all the fear demon. And when we do this, we're going to pay attention to it because that's appealing to the reptilian brain. And they will appeal to then the old mammalian brain. They seldom appeal to the right brain. They'll appeal to the left brain because you got a lot of facts saying, oh, hot, that means it's going to make me feel this way or that way. It's all that knowledge, but it's not. Like I had amazing times in India in 120 or 30 degree temperatures. I practiced Wim Hof's method of getting into ice water. I actually took a training with Wim. He's like a saint. He's a great soul. And he's called the Iceman. And your immune system gets increased by multiple amounts by doing ice baths for a set period of time. And you do special yogic breathing. And the yogic breathing, like I've gone in and had root canals and teeth pulled with no Novocaine. But who experiments with that? We think we can't do it because of it's going to be painful. Well, what is pain? If you were experiencing it, oh, that's pain. Oh, cool. I get to experience that much pain? Holy shit. Well, guess what? We can go through it. We can merge with the pain and not be the experiencer of the pain. That's a very Buddhistic practice. Or we can get into the suffering fully and say, wow, this is tough. I had back surgery, 2 days. They cut me open in the front, put in 3 discs, and then they sealed that and put up some of the structure for my vertebrae, for 4 vertebrae to be fused. And then the next day, they then sewed me up, went through the back the next day and fixed the rest of it. And then they, it's 4 discs replaced, 4 vertebrae fused. The very day of I got out of that surgery, I stopped the narcotics and I used a cannabidiol product. It's out of hemp. It has so little THC, you will never get stoned drinking a whole freaking bottle, but it basically released the pain. And this is all natural. I don't do anything unnatural to this body. And people will argue with me about this vaccine or that vaccine or this, that, or the other thing. I don't need to argue. I'm healthy. 4 people in our house had COVID. My wife, my son who brought it into our house, he brought it into our house. He was sleeping in a futon in our bedroom. That's why my wife got it. And because of hanging out with him, my other son got it, and a roommate got it. All of them got it, but 2 people. I didn't get it because of not only what I eat, but also what I think and what I believe. Belief has
I would like to go more a little bit there. Like I would like to how can I say? I would like to focus us back into yourself being on this planet and what is your mission that you're bringing forward. I know that I resonate a lot with your opinions, but I would like to see a little bit more of where, like right now, if I would be behind your eyes and I would look through these eyes, what I see happening in this world, what are you creating? Like, what do you see? And you're like, oh my God, yeah, let's do that. What is that?
Oh boy. Ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to be able to experience God. I was an altar boy. I was raised Catholic. I was an altar boy. And I one time thought about becoming a priest. My brother did go in. I have an identical twin brother. And we look so much alike and we talk alike, and our wives wouldn't understand if we were talking on the phone, if it was him or him, So I wanted to be experiencing God. It didn't work in the Catholic Church. I prayed, I did the rosary, I did all these rituals. I met a man in America, but he was from India. His name was Swami Muktananda. And he, what you might call, lit my fire. He awakened my Kundalini and has been guiding it ever since. And he's passed on now, but he's not passed on. When you know about the spirit, it doesn't go away. Ancestors, your ancestors influence your life right now. And you can look at so much of the research on that. It's amazing. But few people investigate these things, because to investigate means we have to go inside and explore what really is. We can do it scientifically too, doing this research and that, like with transcendental meditation. But I see the Peace Lab bringing peace. Now I'm going to lean forward. We're going to do this. Your hands are in front of you like as if you have a tray. You're leaning forward. And as you're ready to breathe in, we're going to bend backwards and bring our hands to our heart, breathing in peace in everything. everything with peace. Peace in everything as you breathe in, everything with peace as you breathe out. Peace in everything, everything with peace. And we keep repeating this in whatever language is best for you. And we have everything with peace, peace in everything, everything with peace. It's a psychosomatic spiritual practice. Everything with peace, peace in everything, everything with peace. So we're giving muscle memory to peace in everything, everything with peace. We are training the breath to slow down. The breath slows down, the heart rate slows down, brain waves slow down. We get into a nice peacemaker meditation. Peace in everything, everything with peace. So then we get to see more. We're looking for more peace. We're bringing it forth. So if somebody gets upset, I just go like this. Or I say, ouch, because it hurts. It hurts my heart that this person is suffering, is angry, that they're not clear. So I can say, ouch, and that they'll stop and wonder what happened. And if they don't stop, I'll keep my hand up or whatever and see about bringing this peace by asking a question. Like a woman went off the other day in what's called the after chat. And all that needed to be said was, I hear your pain. Can you explain it a little bit more and why you feel so much pain? Because so many people are not heard. And if you're not heard, there's more anger or frustration. And we can't talk with each other if we're talking at each other. And this is what's happening with the separation demon. The separation demon, my identical twin is a Trumper. I have a selfie with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is way different than even Trump, but on, quote, the other side. But I don't argue with my brother. I see where we have commonality and we discuss the core issue. It's usually about character. And that's why I spread character development. The Peace Lab looks at all of these things, from economics to education, to socialization, to everything that's going to affect peace on the planet. Because right now, we're ready for the fifth great extinction. We have 2 degrees Celsius increase on this planet now. We're at if you think we're at the precipice, we're actually over the precipice of changing it back. Immediately, we have to stop the kind of agriculture we use. And we can do it because this is the time that the shit hits the fan. And we can't wipe off all the shit that's going to be flying if we don't act now. And this is, when we act, we will overcome. We shall overcome. Why? Because we act with one focus and clearing this one issue. When we clear that issue, we've had to collaborate together. We've had to talk together. Now, I shouldn't say, we get to talk together. When we get to do this, it's bringing about this camaraderie. It's bringing about us solving the issue. We wanted to go off into space and we go to the moon, and we did it. There was less than 1% of the people that took action in that, and it did that. What can't we do when we focus on it? When we get everybody working collectively, we can move mountains. Look at what happened with the pyramids. Look at what happened with all kinds of things when we collaborate, when we come together. And I am together with everybody. That's why this being is acting for this being, because it's me. This is very tantric. This is very yogic. This is very, spiritual, because look at this. God is all powerful, right? He's all knowing. He's omnipresent. Where is it that God is not? Do you treat God like shit? Do you treat Mother Earth like shit? We shouldn't, but we don't think of what we think God is. When we know that God is omnipresent, we see God in each other. We know that God dwells within you as you. Guess what? We're in heaven then. We can create it. There's nothing that we can't do. The picture in my book, the only picture in Winning Ways for Living, is a picture of a man, one man with one arm lifting off a standard over 7,000 pounds. If he can do that, he was over 60 years old. His name is Sri Chinmoy. You can look it up. You can see the picture. If people want to write to me, I can send them the picture and so on. And I send you, what can't you do? And so on and so forth. If people want to know how to meditate or know more about this peacemaker meditation or want to know how to be a peak performer, I mean, it's a gift. Or you can buy the book, Winning Ways for Living. Fine, do that. It's in Audible. It's in all the different formats. The only thing that doesn't have it in the Kindle is that I want to, if I had somebody that's technologically savvy, I would have them put links to some videos that explain visually how to do, let's say, the peacemaker meditation or the Pythagoras' practice. Pythagoras, God, what a genius. Talk about a great Greek. I mean, my God, that guy's probably the most outstanding philosopher ever when you look into his philosophy, not just his mathematics. But how many people know he was an incredible philosopher?
True. Lately, I like to explore a lot this balance that we need to restore, because for me, it's all about like restoring balance through the 4 elements. And I would like just to pose you this question before we go towards the closing slowly. How do you feel resonating, if you feel resonating, either with one or all the 4? It's 4 plus 1 elements for me. It's the 4 natural one plus the 8, okay, right? Like the spirit.
Tell me the 4 elements.
Earth, air, water, and fire.
How is it that fire can be without air?
That's the thing. They cannot be. None of them can be without the others, and that's the interesting part. They can just be in different percentages.
That's the beauty of life, and we create life, and it's like there's so much water under the earth. Mother Earth has huge amounts of water. She has a system that's amazing. Most people don't know about it. And it can be tapped through certain fissures that Mother Earth creates, but you still have to drill down far and know where to drill. And there's some people that know that. And that water is fresh. It is so alive. I mean, I was raised in a little poor town called San Fernando. The whole valley was named after it because it's the oldest town in the valley. It was a mission, the Catholic mission. And this town had well water. It was so sweet. If we went over to Pacoima, just across the border of this little town, or to Samar, another one, I never drank the water because it was like drinking pipes. It was like, ooh, because it came all the way from Northern California. And it was in pipes, and they're aerated nearby, but aerated and then having been in pipes and then going through all these old lead pipes, what kind of things got into the body. But I didn't have to have that. So pure water is so valuable. Fresh air, why is it that we pollute the air? We're all breathing it, but so's Mother Nature breathing it. We're killing the plants. We pollute the land with Monsanto or whatever it is now. And we think it's going to grow more when you destroy more. Yeah, I don't destroy any insects in my house. I don't destroy them on my plants. They are so valuable to our planet that most people don't know about. I used to have to I let mosquitoes land on my body. If they sting me, they sting me. It increases my immune system. It increases my allergic response. If I kill them, they are food for other animals. There's these hierarchies. And without this mass extinction It's coming up right now because there's so much methane coming up from the Arctic. I mean, I can go into all kinds of detail. But when we treat everything as one, as myself, like the golden rule is in every religion. I was published on that. I showed in this sunnah in the Quran, or this, scripture in the Old Testament or the New Testament or what. All these scriptures of the world have that as a focus. But who lives it? When we live it, we're in heaven. One simple rule. And
So
then we are tempted in spirit. That's where we're
yeah,
tempted.
I would love you to tell us what you feel is this one rule, because we have to go towards the closing slowly. Unfortunately, the half an hour passes very fast. But I would love you to express, because I feel there's something that still needs to be expressed, and I would just like to give that space to that.
I would, the space that I have, know, love, and serve God in every thought, word, and deed with great strength, health, wealth, and prosperity. Now, when we do that, that's my daily prayer. I wake up and I say, thank you, God, for knowing, loving, and serving you in every thought, word, and deed with great strength, health, wealth, and wisdom. That's the prayer every day. Thank him, like as if it's true. Because it works. It works when you work it, and you're worth it. That's what I leave anybody with. And again, it's in your ballpark. And the thing is, I'm available anytime to be able to know, love, and serve God. If you need to, you phone me at 3:00 in the morning. I will get up and serve you if I can. Why not? Now, some people think I got to have so much sleep. You can go back to sleep. You can get sleep later in the day if you need to. I never took naps before in my life. My wife got me trained. But guess what? This body also needs rest. But we've been sitting still. And usually when I'm sitting for so long, I like to move like this or like this. Again, it's bringing that muscle memory to being peace in everything with peace. Because my body is used to going to the right, it's peace in everything. Going to the left, it's everything with peace. And same kind of thing going forward and back. So, and the movement, human beings are not made to sit so freaking long, especially still. That's why I was a crazy boy in the back of the classroom. I couldn't sit still. I had to look out the window to get entertained and so on. There's people with left brains, I mean, I'm probably singing to the choir right now.
So I would suggest just before we close to do for one more minute the meditation, because I felt that it needs to be repeated.
Move forward, breathing in, peace in everything with peace. Peace in everything. And you'll notice there's a little pause. It's the pause that refreshes before we breathe out. Peace in everything with peace. That pause that refreshes is the space between your breath, is where the source of thoughts come from and go to. Peace in everything with peace. Peace in everything with peace. And again, it can be in whatever is your primary language. It's not hooked like the mantras. Now, mantras are very powerful, like that mantra Om Namah Shivaya. It's been used by millions of people for thousands of years. So it's like a cosmic tuning fork. It can calm your mind down because you tune in easily. This is tuning you in because you're moving with it and you're saying slowly, peace in everything with peace, peace in everything everything with peace. And here we are.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you so
Thank
much, Kurt, for that. And thank you for your time. Stay in the call. I will just stop the live and I will put my computer to charge and we talk about the next part.